Welcome back into Hitting Hard with Jon Chuckery here on Locked On Sports Atlanta. Head to youtube.com, put Locked On Sports Atlanta in your search browser. When you get there, hit that subscribe button. Leave us a comment. We are free and available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Leave us a 5-star review there as well. And of course, follow me on my personal Twitter page at JMCH316. Well, listen, in the midst of all of the Falcons news and watching the game last night, the Braves did a nice job last night of winning a baseball game where coming off of a big weekend against the Mets and a big weekend against the Houston Astros, I should say a big week overall, where you took 3 out of 4 from the New York Mets and you took 2 out of 3 from the Astros. Would have been very easy last night to go on the road and maybe stub your toe against a pig slop, awful, pond scum, low life, dirtbag, flea bag, jabroni organization like the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates now, by the way, are 47-75 on the season. What a disgraceful organization that they are. But in a game last night where you didn't get a whole ton of things cranked up offensively, the Braves only ended up last night with 4 hits in the game, but they got the key hit. Michael Harris last night hits the home run. He had Contreras on. And Jake Odorizzi, for a guy who, say what you will, but was probably headed toward, DFA, if you will, he had his best outing as an Atlanta Brave last night. 6 innings with just 4 hits, an earned run, 7 strikeouts, and no walks. And look, here's the thing. They need Odorizzi if he can be competent. And I like the trade when they brought him over. I thought he did some good things with Houston. I like bringing him in the mix to be an extra starter for this team. But obviously right now it's not been, very good. He did say that he worked on some things in his last start. Remember, we had the rain delays and things like that. He said he did work on some things. In fact, he was talking about standing in front of a mirror and working on some of his motion and stuff like that. So maybe he got some things figured out, which is only good news, because you don't want to feel like that you have to rush Mike Soroka back. And I know everybody is super excited. He made the start up in Rome where he blew away a whole bunch of guys. I expect Mike Soroka, who 3 years ago or whatever had the best adjusted ERA in all of Major League Baseball. So he was baffling hitters at the Major League level. I expect him to baffle single A hitters out there. And, the Gwinnett start was, a little bit shakier. But again, nothing to get, too worked up about. But you don't want to feel like, because Odorizzi can't get anything done, that you have to hurry Mike Soroka back and get him pushed back in the mix of being able to give you some starts, right? Especially coming down the stretch here. You're going to play a lot of flea bag teams the rest of the way. You look at the Braves schedule with the Pirates and the Rockies and the Marlins and the Nationals and all these teams. There's a lot of dirtbag, flea bag teams that are out there right now that the Braves are going to load up. Go look at the Mets schedule. The Mets play like half their games are against teams that are like 15 games below 500. So we're really getting into where there's a lot of dirtbag, flea bag teams that you don't have to be Cy Young going out there, but you got to be competent. And if Odorizzi can just be competent, again, I don't know if he's going to make the playoff roster, things like that. I'm not even worried about that right now at this point. But what I want to be able to do is have a guy who can be at the back end of my starting rotation where I don't feel like I have to rush a young guy up, where I don't feel like I have to rush Mike Soroka to get back. You let Soroka get back on his timetable, right? Yeah, I understand. Everybody wants to see him pitch and everybody wants him back and he's been gone and all this, that, and the other. But I'd much rather play the long game and be overly cautious with Mike Soroka, given the fact of what I've seen the last 2 years, right? I'd much rather we take our time, slow work our way into Soroka, rather than just throw him out there because somebody like Odorizzi is not very good. And at least Odorizzi kept the ball in the ballpark last night. That's certainly better than some of his other starts, out there. But this was important if Odorizzi can just get himself on track. Like I said, I don't need him to be, Greg Maddux in his prime. I need him to just be competent for the role that's being asked of him. Now, we'll talk more about this here in just a second. But first, let me talk about my friends over at Coffee AM. You know how much I love these folks drinking their coffee every single morning. Listen, I just had to go grab me a cup of their brew that I had over there, make me another pot this morning. coffeeam.com is the place to go. You need K-Cups, you need organic coffee, you want flavored coffee, you need some teas, you want a mug, whatever it is that you need, they've got it over at coffeeam.com. And here's what we got going on. So I want you to head to coffeeam.com/lockedon, LOCKEDON, coffeeam.com/lockedon. When you get there, check out their wide, extensive menu of coffees, teas, the gift sets that they have, everything that's available to you there, and put together that first order. And when you get that first order all put together and you get to the checkout, put the coupon code locked on, LOCKEDON, locked on. Put that coupon code in at checkout. You get 15% off that first order you make of whatever coffees, teas, gift sets, whatever it is that you find available to you there. Put that coupon code locked on, LOCKEDON, for 15% off of your order. Coffee AM, the best small batch coffee roaster in America, right here in Georgia, up in the Canton area. You're not going to go wrong with these folks. But last night was an important start for Odorizzi to not feel like you have to push the panic button, find somebody else to fill in, get Mike Soroka back on a faster track or anything like that. You just needed a competent start, and he gave that to you. And I understand, well, it's the Pirates. I understand. But I don't care if it's the Pirates. I don't care if it's the Myrtle Beach, whatever, Dolphins. I don't care who it is that he pitches against. I just need him to be competent. And I need him to be a guy that did some good things in Houston. Can he translate that over to here? Can he keep the ball in the ballpark and give my offense a chance? And he did that last night, where you saw Michael Harris again, who's just, what a year Michael Harris has had. At some point, we're going to look back at this season for Michael Harris and realize that the Braves got a massive steal in that contract as it is already. And if he's a Gold Glove caliber center fielder like he is right now, he's already worth $9 million. But another big clutch hit last night. But I thought last night was important from Odorizzi's standpoint, from the standpoint of not stubbing your toe, because look, the Mets lost last night, so you picked up a game. Remember, the Braves are still in second place in the division. They're not sitting in first place and can just coast all the way through. They have to do a little bit of scoreboard watching. You've got 3 left with the Mets, but you want to make sure that you're within striking distance when you get to that series. Doesn't do you a whole lot of good to be 5 back of the Mets with 3 games to play when you get to them, right? So you got to do a little bit of scoreboard watching. But most importantly is, and the Braves have done this year, handle your business against these low-life, dirtbag, flea bag, pawn scum organizations. And there are a lot of those games that are left. Again, look at the Braves schedule. They got the Rockies. They got the Marlins coming up. Yeah, they got to go to St. Louis. They got the St. Louis Cardinals coming up. Okay. But again, the St. Louis Cardinals aren't the end-all, be-all. That's a 2-team, that's a two-hitter lineup. I mean, if you get through Goldschmidt and Arenado, they ain't done a whole lot offensively besides that. They ain't been all that good. And I know Pujols is, at 85 years old is hitting, some home runs, and he's trying to track down A-Rod to be 4th all time on the list. And okay, whatever. He's 109 years old. Okay. He can't run from home plate to second base. I mean, unless he gets, one of those hover rounds to get on. Love Albert Pujols, but he's at the end of the line. So, yeah, you've got a little bit, you've got a few tough games. I think the Phillies are going to be a tough out. They're working on trying to get Bryce Harper back. But last night was important for Odorizzi to find a way to get it done, keep the Braves in it, and not stink up the joint against the low-life Pirates. All right, thank you so much for making Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery your first listen every day. Make A to Z with Mark Zinno your second listen every day. Mark's back talking all things Atlanta sports. You can check him out on our YouTube page at Locked On Sports Atlanta, and check him out for free. He's available on all of your favorite podcast platforms, including Spotify and Odyssey. Give us a follow there, leave us a 5-star review, and then follow me on my Twitter page at JMCH316. Back with you tomorrow. It's been Hittin' Hard with Jon Chuckery, Locked On Sports Atlanta.